There were three major classes during the Victorian era: the upper class, the middle class, and the working lower class. The upper class was made up of the rich, wealthy royal family and nobility or aristocracy. There was little change in the royal family, and the ones that were in power had stayed in power. They lived very luxurious lives that were unheard of to the other two classes. The nobles underwent a major change during the time. There was a shift from the traditional role of nobles to a greater focus on industrialization. A number of aristocrats started managing huge industries like mining or shipping, which drastically improved the life and working conditions of many of the common people. The middle class was next in social ranking. The Victorian era was a time of great prosperity to the middle class, partially due to the Industrial Revolution. The revolution had brought great change to the United Kingdom, including improved living conditions and a higher standard of living, and brand new job opportunities. Some middle class people even owned and managed vast business empires. Life for the lower working class was rough. The Industrial Revolution had created many jobs, but most of them had been taken up by the middle class, so many people remained unemployed. One of the reasons that led to the mass unemployment was the drastic population growth due to many immigrants. Job wages went down, and some poor families even struggled to put food on the table. Child labor was widespread as families were very desperate for money. Many poor people were forced to live in public housings or on the streets or had poor living conditions and hygiene. Most people remained in the same social class as their parents. The only way that someone could move up the hierarchy was to marry someone above them, which at the time was very rare. Some of the poorest people were fortunate enough to get jobs due to the Industrial Revolution and move up this way, but most did not, and unemployment was still a huge problem. The Industrial Revolution had brought great change to the United Kingdom. The population grew dramatically as many new immigrants frolicked to England and hoped for new jobs. One of the biggest new job opportunities was to work in factories. These jobs were most likely taken by the working lower class and had little pay. The workplace was very crowded, unhygienic, and unsafe. The Victorian period is also regarded as the era of Romanticism. In those days, courtship was considered to be traditional and was very popular. Marriage in the Victorian era was very close to how it was today. Most women and men married at around the age of 21 and 23 and were typically in the same social class. There were certain rules and traditions that were followed. For example, the parents of the bride had to pay a lofty dowry. Other customs included engagements by proposing with a ring and seeking approval of the parents of both the bride and the groom. Marriages were still arranged mainly for financial profit and not love, but sometimes many couples grew fond of each other. There were many rules, mostly applied to women, about dating. A single woman never addressed a gentleman without an introduction. No impure conversations were held in front of single women. A woman could not receive a man at home if she was alone. Another family member had to be present in the room. There is no physical contact between the woman and the gentleman until marriage. A woman was allowed some liberties, such as flirting with her fan. Even after an engagement, the couple was not allowed to have strange behavior.